Lesson 110, Bar Graphs and Line Graphs. We've been learning about graphs in this chapter. Graphs are just pictures of numbers. So far, we've only talked about number lines, but there are other kinds of graphs besides number lines. Let me show you an example. The automobile show had entrants from 5 states. Here are the number of cars that came from each state. See, the column on the right shows the 5 states: Kansas, Nebraska, Colorado, Iowa, and Illinois. And the column on the left shows how many cars were entered into the show from each of those states. Now let's do a graph of this information. We can use a bar graph, which is another kind of graph. It's called bar graph because it uses bars to show information. See, each bar stands for the number of cars entered into the automobile show from each state. The way to tell how many cars are entered is to go to the top of the bar and then look straight over to the left. If we go to the top of the Nebraska bar and then look left, we see the number 10. So 10 cars came from Nebraska. The nice thing about a bar graph is that you can compare different numbers really easily. It's easy to tell that Illinois has the most number of cars entered in the show because the Illinois bar is the tallest. What state has the least number of cars entered into the show? That's right. Kansas has the least because its bar is the shortest. Now why don't you tell me how many cars Iowa has entered into the show? Remember to look over to the left. Exactly right. That's how a bar graph works. You can compare different numbers by looking at how tall each bar is. There's also something called a line graph. Let's see what a line graph looks like. This shows how the deer population of Dooley County changed from year to year. See, there's a line in the graph. That's where the name comes from. Each of the years is shown along the bottom. They go from 2001 to 2006, and along the left are different numbers of deer. To figure out how many deer were in the county in 2001, you just go to the bottom to where 2001 is, then go up to the dot, and then look to the left directly across from the dot. That takes you to 150. The reason I know it's 150 is that it's halfway between 100 and 200. So there must have been 150 deer in Dooley County in 2001. That's the way you read a line graph. Now, why don't you figure out how many deer were in Dooley County in 2002 and enter that in? Perfect. Let's do another one. How many deer were in Dooley County in 2006? That's right. So there were 400 deer in 2006. Another valuable thing about a line graph is that the slant of the line tells you whether something is going up or down. If you look at the line from 2001 to 2002, you can see that it slants up. That means the number of deer increased during that time. But look at the line from 2002 to 2003. It slants down here. That means the number of deer decreased over this period. The slant of the line tells you whether something is increasing or decreasing. An upward slanting line means there's an increase, and a downward slanting line means there's a decrease. Now, why don't you answer a question? Did the number of deer increase or decrease from 2003 to 2004? That's right. Let's do another one. Did the number of deer increase or decrease from 2005 to 2006? You got it. That just shows you a few ways that you can use a line graph to analyze something. A line graph is really good for analyzing how something changes over time.